we're at a point where we can plant the bridge, have that done. Then we just got to route the pups and control cavity, and we're good. And then we can do all the pretty stuff. So that means string throughs. We got to do our string throughs so we have something to anchor the bridge so we can place it. Now, the trick to string throughs, I discovered the hard way once upon a time. If your hole that goes all the way through is as big as the end of... what size you use for the top ferrule, if you use that size bit to go all the way through, then every time you try to push a string through, it gets caught in the bottom of that 9 times out of 10. It's a tremendous pain in the ass. So, we want a smaller bit for the hole, just to go all the way through. Then this guy for a top ferrule, and this one for a bottom ferrule. This one we want to just go deep enough for the ferrule to fit. This one, I mean, we're looking for that, but it doesn't really matter. It's not as big of a deal, because it's never getting poked through the other way, unless you're an idiot. So, now, tiny bit. However, alright, most of our string throughs, or all of them, will be going, yeah, all of them will be going through ash, so it's not that hard. So, with a smaller bit, harder wood, especially something like Wenge or possibly ash, where it has really hard chunks and really light stripes, with that variation, you know, your bit tends to wander. That's the big problem. We have a way to deal with that, so that, I mean, even if it does get a little wonky, we can still make sure that our back ferrules wind up where they're supposed to be, registered off of the front ones. You'll see if you haven't already seen it. Anyway, I guess we need to go do our all the way through, and then we can work on ferrules. Once we got that set, then we can actually string it up, place the bridge, and you know, have the heavy lifting out of the way. Be down to just routing and shaping and carving and sanding and all that fun stuff. So, here we go. Alright, this little jig has been with me for a while. Not much of a jig, it's just a chunk of MDF with a few different sized bolts or nails or something. Idea, get this perfectly lined up with the center of my bit. This is the same size as the hole we just put on the face, so we can get the back drilled lined up perfectly with the front. Alright, we're set up just about perfect. Now, we haven't done any sanding on this or anything, so we do need to leave a little extra sure they will fit later. Alright, we did a bonehead. It's not like most boneheads, it's not the end of the world, but it's a mistake. I made the classic mistake of trusting whatever the hell I did the other day and just took for granted. I don't know what I was thinking. Our neck blank is actually right there. Not right there. This one's pretty well on. This one's right. This one wrong. So that string through should have been, I don't know, a little deeper in. And the string spacing should have been just a little bit tighter. It's not going to be the end of the world. This is just the anchor behind the bridge, and it may not be enough to really be noticeable. It might look slightly goofy, coming off the bridge at a very slight angle. But it's probably not going to amount to much. However, looking at the back, it looks definitely weird. Would have been nice if it all, came out perfect like they was supposed to, but when does it ever? So, not the end of the world, just not the way we wanted it to be. Now, I have a sneaky suspicion all of these are good and tight, and I don't want to... It's kind of hard to get ferrules back out. It really is. It's not easy. What we can do back here is we can just... last time, I used a piece of wire to put through the ball ends of the strings just to anchor them back here. And just for testing this out, it's probably alright to just leave them sitting against the ash. I don't know, ash is pretty soft though compared to other things. That might not be a wise idea. What in the holy hillbilly is happening here? Let me explain. Alright, with tape down and everything, and we got our holes, I took some little strips of plexi and glued those to the tape just in front of the holes, so as we're doing this, it'll be resting on that instead of the edge of the hole. And this will be our string anchor for the back. So, I don't want to put the ferrules in right now. The back ferrules are flush. We never get them out. The front ferrules are little tiny front ferrules. We never get them out. So, I would rather just not fight with it. This will be good. Now, for one thing, I need to find me a pair of strings, a set of strings. For another, we need to cut our nut. So, the nut's going to be a little time consuming, to get it down to, decent for a nut. So, I suppose that should be the next step. Alright, I already took a half pencil and marked fret height. We're going to cut this and we will slowly, probably over on the belt sander wheel, just slowly work down till it fits right. But first things first. Make sure it snaps in there. Maybe we did a little too good of a job getting that to fit. turned out alright. Yep. Now all this can get worked in a little bit. I like the triangle file because I can lay it right on that line, roll it up and go. Just to start. We're not cutting the final action, we're just getting close to the line. And that'll be good enough to place the bridge. Nice file. I should have waited. Okay. You. And then you. And then you. That's retarded. Retarded cool. Right. Now. Okay, this piece of plexi is too big, but too bad. It's going to have to do for now. These two are small enough to easily slide in there, but they're big enough that they take up most of that post hole. And they have been ground to almost a point. Alright, I went ahead and cut the nut down to just about final depth, because it was really high. So So it needs to come this way, ever so slightly. Now it's way sharp. So he's good. Andy, you're good. What about you, G? Just a tiny bit flat. Friggin' perfect. I never in my life had to work so little to get intonated. Alright, well, some of them are off the tiniest little bit, and all the saddles are dead flat in the middle of that bridge. They have all the room in the world to adjust. So, I think we're exactly where we want to be. However, we do need to double check real quick and make sure that we like the centering. String spread over this end of the fretboard looks good. We're centered. Hell. Nothing to wait on. Now, that leaves a little tiny circle. Done. Alright, you know the drill. No pun intended. We're going to poke one hole, and then we're going to put the bridge in place, swing it over this, and make sure that it actually looks right. I'm supremely confident. I mean, we used the damn bridge to place that, but just to be on the safe side. Picture perfect. Yeah, that was largely unnecessary, but always better safe than sorry. Absolutely perfect. Nice. Thanks for joining me. If you like what we're doing, if you're digging it, like and subscribe. Catch you next time. Like, subscribe.